Good morning, kindergarten. All right, let's get started with your math worksheet. Make sure that you have this one in front of you. Make sure that you write your first and last name at the top. Here we go. Put your finger on the number 1. Look at the time on this clock. Find the time over here that matches and draw a line from the dot next to this clock to the dot next to the matching time. Put your finger on the number 2. Look at this clock. Draw a line from this clock to the matching time. Put your finger on number 3 and look at that clock. Draw a line from this clock to the matching time on this side. Put your finger on number 4. Look at that clock. Draw a line from this time to the matching time on this side. Put your finger on number 5. Look at the clock. Draw a line from this time to the matching time on this side. And put your finger on number 6. Draw a line from this clock to the matching time over here. Kindergarten, make sure that you have this paper. Write your first and last name at the top. All right, put your finger on the clock that says 3 o'clock. Underneath it says 3 o'clock. You're going to use your pencil and you're going to draw the time on this clock, 3 o'clock. If you want, you can use 2 different crayons. Use a blue crayon for the hour hand, that's the shorthand, or use a red crayon for the minute hand, that's the long hand. So minute, red, hour, short, or you can just use your pencil. Put your finger on the next time. That says 12 o'clock. Draw 12 o'clock on this clock. Put your finger on the next time. That says 10 o'clock. Draw 10 o'clock on that clock. Put your finger down here on 2 o'clock. Draw 2 o'clock on this clock. Put your finger on the next one. That says 9 o'clock. Draw 9 o'clock on this clock. Put your finger on the next one. That says 5 o'clock. Draw 5 o'clock. Remember, you can use a red crayon for the minute hand, that's long, and a blue crayon for the hour hand, that's short. Put your finger down here. This says 6 o'clock. Draw 6 o'clock. Put your finger right here. 4 o'clock. Draw 4 o'clock on that clock. And put your finger over here. That says 11 o'clock. Draw 11 o'clock. Hello, kindergarten. Make sure that you have this paper out. Make sure that somewhere at the top you write your first and last name, anywhere that you can find. Okay, we are going to do the very first one together, okay? So, watch Miss Stoller. The very first one says 4 o'clock. Do you see this rectangle underneath? You are going to write the time using words, your number and words. So it will look like this. Stoller, get her marker open. This time says 4 o'clock. So I'm going to write 4, the number. Then I'm going to write O. And we have this little thing called an apostrophe. And then we write the word clock. "4 o'clock." That's what you're going to do on this paper. We did the very first one together. Our time says 4 o'clock. So we wrote 4 o'clock using our number and our words. That's what we're going to do on this one. So this one says 4 o'clock. Write 4 and then o'clock. Do the same for the rest of them, kindergarten. Kindergarten, make sure you have this paper and write your first and last name somewhere at the top. Let's do this one together too. Put your finger on the number 1. This clock says 4 o'clock. Over here, you need to draw what time it will be in 1 hour. So 4 o'clock plus 1 hour equals 5 o'clock. 4 plus 1 equals 5. So you are going to draw 5 o'clock on this clock. Put your finger on number 2. This one says 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. You need to draw what time it will be in 1 hour. So 6 o'clock plus 1 hour equals 7 o'clock. So you need to draw 7 o'clock. Put your finger on the next one. This one says 1 o'clock. You need to draw what time it will be in 1 hour. 1 o'clock plus 1 hour. 1 plus 1. Over here, put your finger on number 4. This says 10 o'clock. You need to draw what time it will be in 1 hour. 10 o'clock plus 1 hour. 10 plus 1. Put your finger on number 5. This says 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Draw what time it will be in 1 hour. 3 o'clock plus 1 hour. 3 plus 1. And put your finger on number 6. 2 o'clock. Draw what time it will be in 1 hour. 2 o'clock plus 1 hour. 2 plus 1.